Welcome to Mary Walter Radio Live Cast. Thank you so much for joining me. And since Scott is already over on Rumble, said Christmas music, it's not Christmas music. That was just general music that Ron Squeaky put together for us. And I appreciate that for him. Is my flag crooked? My flag looks kind of crooked in the background, doesn't it? I wonder if that's because I'm going to make a big mess now. I'm going to make a big mess. Oh, that's better, right? That's better, I think. It's not crooked now. My other camera is still gone. As you can tell by my coloring, I look really, really, really white right now. Not that I'm not always really white, but I look exceptionally white right now because we can't deal with the lights and the tones. We can't do anything like that with this camera because I had to go back to the old one because the last one broke. It was only 2 months old, so it had to be shipped back to California. And now we're waiting for a new one to come here. So it's going to be a couple more weeks. So just very white. It's very bright. So still working on that. Thanks so much for joining me. Appreciate it. Gosh, there's so much to talk about tonight. If you have not done so, please subscribe on Rumble, YouTube, Getter, wherever. Please subscribe. Please give a thumbs up. Would it kill you to hit the like? Would it kill you? Seriously. I look at the numbers afterwards and I'm like, really? Like 7 people hit the like button. Put down the drink or whatever it is you're doing, the popcorn, whatever. Put it down, hit the like, and we will continue. Okay. I don't ask for much. I really truly don't. I don't think I do anyway, but anyway, so that's that. I apologize for my hair. And our next guest, let me bring her in because I'm sure she can understand this. You love her. Melanie Collette is with us. Hi, honey. How are you?
Hello, darling. I think you look beautiful. Seriously, your skin is popping.
Oh, thank you. It was very white. I look very, very
nice
white.
And dewy. It looks good.
Is that what it is? Thank you.
Yes. It looks good.
You're gonna fix your hair. So you know when you first get your hair cut, they put so much product in it at the salon, right? So it gets really fine and you can't do anything with it. And you have to get like 3 washings under your belt.
You can't do it. Listen, what are we doing at the salon? Like we like it for like 5 minutes.
Actually, last time I got my hair cut was 6 months ago. So it needed to be cut and they took 3 inches off of it. I mean, that's how long it had gotten. Yeah. So it had gotten really long. But because she put so much conditioner, which is good for your hair, I guess, but men don't understand that then it doesn't do anything.
They have no idea. That's why you guys have to pay for the dates. It's the pink tax. It's very expensive. To be like, if you want all of this, it's very expensive.
Thank you.
It costs money, so you have to pay for the food.
You know, because the cost of it went up, of course, under Biden. Thank you, Joe. And now, of course, you have to pay cash because you're in New Jersey, so you know that everywhere in New Jersey you got to pay cash. I had your title here, CFAC.
Yes,
right? Chair of
Senior
CFAC.
Policy Analyst. Senior Policy Analyst at CFAC.
I'm so sorry. I lost it. I had it here. And you can find her on X at GOP Diva. And that's why I built our very own New Jersey's very own GOP Diva. Yes. And she is all over Newsmax. The girl is everywhere. She's everywhere on Newsmax. So
I was on Newsmax twice today.
You know, it's interesting. They don't always allow that. You got to have enough time between the two.
4 hours.
Right. So I've been kind of pushed back to Newsmax too, is where I'm living right now.
I'm on both. So I was on Newsmax twice today. I'm back on Newsmax tomorrow. I haven't done N2 in a little bit. But there's some days I'll do, this has happened very often actually, where I'll do a 6 a.m. Newsmax and then like an 8:30 Newsmax 2. And then some days I'll do like Newsmax 2, and then another Newsmax, like all in the same day. Yeah. It's wild.
Well, I was like getting booked out the wazoo, and then all of a sudden, boom. And now I'm only being booked on N2. So I was on N2 today. I will be on N2 tomorrow. For those of you who don't know, you either have it on your cable, like you just get it, or just Newsmax 2. It's kind of like, I think, their answer to Fox Nation.
Fox Nation.
That's what, right. This is what's going to be built into. And, or you can go to YouTube and just type in Newsmax, the number 2 live, and you can watch it there. So tomorrow, 5:15 with Todd Starnes. I've been on Todd's show pretty regularly. So that's tomorrow. Also tomorrow morning. I am splitting my loyalties because tomorrow morning I'm in for Brian Kilmeade on Fox News Radio from 9 a.m. to noon, and then doing Newsmax on N2 at 5:15 in the evening tomorrow. Thursday, I'm back in for Brian Kilmeade on Fox News Radio from 9 a.m. to noon. And then 9 p.m. to midnight, 12 hours later, I'm in for Stacey Washington on Sirius Patriot Channel 125.
Who doesn't love Stacey Washington? We love Stacey Washington.
Love Stacey. Well, she and I we met up in the lounge at Newark Airport for the trip to Israel.
Nice.
And our seats were literally right behind each other. She was right behind me on the plane. And we went up on the same bus, the same group. So I got to spend time with Stacey.
We love her. She's just she's a sweetheart.
She is. Let me silence my phone because I'll be the person who does. I got my phone. Anyway, so welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. This is my third hit today. My first one was at 6 a.m.
Well, I appreciate you agreeing to do it. And we don't have to keep you the whole time. You can go whenever you need to go. That's fine. I will totally respect that.
I'm good.
But this should be, you've been here, you've done this before, super casual. The only reason I have pearls on in this is because it's what I wore on the air today. Otherwise, everybody knows it's a sweatshirt. Today would have been a really good ponytail day. I probably should have ponied it, but I didn't. Whatever. So totally casual.
I had a commissioner meeting today. That's why we got the blazer action going today. Official elected official duty today.
Nice. All right, let's see who's here. Rebecca, Scott, Patrick. That's also Scott. Scott, watching your back is here. Yitzhak, it's going to be a hot night at Queen Mary's. Getting ready to get ready. Squeaky, who does our music. Meep had a fun snow day. How was yours? How much snow did you get down in Cape May, down South Jersey?
6 or 7 inches, something like that. But it's the ice that's the problem.
Well, we got snow. We probably got about 8 to 10 inches, and then we got the fine coating of snow on top. So like when the fox comes through our yard, you see him on the camera just on top of the ice. But we cleared it all out. Well, I didn't. My husband cleared it out with the snowblower yesterday.
I could have used some of that toxic masculinity today because
Didn't you hire a kid?
I didn't need. It was the ice. Like I have a little sports car, and it's not like winterized, winter ready. So I'm thinking I'm driving on my driveway like on top of snow, and it was basically on top of ice, and my car was like, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. I figured it out.
Yeah, we got some physical therapy today. That was my thing, but it was fine. Roads were totally cleared. Yeah. Rebecca snuck over to Rumble. Thank you so much. Hermit says, Mary, Melanie, hi, ladies. Hermit says, hello. All right, watch your back. Back to the narrow screen. Okay, watching your back. Here's the thing. When you go to YouTube, you have 2 choices. And one of them has a little thing that like this shape that looks like a cell phone. If you choose that one, you're going to get the vertical screen. Choose the other one, and you'll get the horizontal screen.
So you can log out of the viewer.
Yeah, they can either see it like, look, I'll show you. They can see it like that. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not changing. I think it's
okay. It's not changing
for you,
but
right?
There's a vertical picture where I'm on top, you're on bottom, and then there's the horizontal because a lot of people watch on YouTube.
I see both.
Okay, you just saw it, and then I took it away. Okay, so you see both. So if you choose the one that has this like that shape next to it, that's what you're going to get. I've explained this 20,000 times. And far more people, I was going to get rid of it, but far more people watch on this screen
than
the other one, because I think a lot of people watch on their phone. So that is that. Suze is here. Hello, Suze. Yitzhak says he always hits the like. Yay. Where's Wild Bill? Wild Bill's not here. It's his birthday today. I was all ready to wish him happy birthday, and I don't know if he's going to join us tonight. All right. Sal, you look exceptionally white. Mary, you might be accused of white supremacy. Well, I'm actually just exercising my white privilege.
Well, interestingly, I'm the only Black person on my commissioner board. I'm actually the first one in my county's 340-year history, right?
Well, you're in Cape May, so
yeah, it's fine. Love it. So, so we have this like really tiny group of liberals that keep coming there and like occasionally mentioning how we support white nationalists. And I always find it to be kind of amusing because I know they can see me. And then like one talked about how we're all immigrants. We all immigrated here. And I'm just like, are you sure? But it really is a disqualifier if you were on the right side of the aisle. They just don't acknowledge that you could possibly also be melanated and be of African descent. Like they just won't acknowledge it.
Well, you're asking them to think, so there's that.
I find it to be bizarre though, like how you could literally be looking at a Black person and say that they support white nationalists. What level of hubris do you have to think it and say it? Like, I just don't.
They believe they're morally right. We're going to get into all this.
Yeah.
Yitzhak says he's 70 and balding. What hair? Watching your back says at least you have hair. Herman's like, I always look great. Yitzhak said, I've paid for the dates after the divorce.
Oh dear.
Star Driver says, preaching to the choir here, ladies, and I happen to know for a fact that Star Driver's a dude. Now Tack says, another great night hanging out with Mary, Melanie, and all of you. Suze, so I am 58 and still have no gray hair. Not lying. So, Suze, I get some right here, right here. It's like a little state, like my hairdresser's like, you just want to leave it that way because it's like a statement piece. But I hadn't had my hair highlighted. I don't even get my hair colored all the way. I just get highlights. And when it was all growing out, it was so much darker because I do both, like highlights and lowlights and everything. No, right. It's genetic. It's totally genetic.
I have a white patch of that you can't see, obviously. And I thought I saw it while my stylist was doing my hair, and I was like, "What is in my hair?" And she's like, "That is a white patch of hair."
But so I was actually considering just letting it go, and I was just going to Tulsi Gabbard it out. You know,
ma'am, what? I don't know. I think it was like a stressful period in my life. I don't think it's there anymore. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just like this white patch of hair. It was bizarre.
Yeah, it's my grandfather was 90. He was almost 97 when he died, and he did not have a full head of gray hair.
Amazing.
Yeah, so
amazing.
Yeah, I didn't get the white blonde hair from my dad's side, but I got the no graying gene from my mother's father's side. Because my mom had gray hair when she started. When she got pregnant, she said, once I got pregnant, it was all over. Gray hair came in like crazy. But my mother, her father is the one like. So, and that's the Irish side. So I don't know what that's about.
The Queen.
All right, here's a question for you. Why can't the GOP win in New Jersey?
Okay. So listen.
So
I live in Cape May County, New Jersey. I'm the vice chair of Cape May County GOP. We win. I don't know what's going on in the rest of the state. No, I do. Listen, I'm going to tell you. So we are outnumbered in all seriousness. We used to be outnumbered as far as just party in general by 1 million. We did make a million votes, like literally 1 million Democrats. There's 1 million more Democrats than there are Republicans in the state of New Jersey. Now, we have made inroads. I think that we got that down to 850,000. The problem that you have, I'm way down in the peninsula of New Jersey and Cape May County, and kind of like the further down you get, the redder it gets. It gets a little more rural. It's a little more red. You get to Cape May County, which we have very lovingly nicknamed the Red Kingdom, right? So because like we're just very red. There's maybe two or three small municipalities that have Democrat mayors or council people or whatever, or they're nonpartisan. But the rest of us, all the way up to the state legislature, and one Congressman Van Drew, who switched, are all Republicans. The commissioner board that I'm on, 5 commissioner board, all Republicans for the last 20 years. The last Democrat that was on the commissioner board was Jeff Van Drew, just to give you an idea. But then North Jersey is very concentrated right outside of New York City. So you have the Essex County, Bergen County, and those places that are jam-packed full of people and Democrats. And
they're all people who fled New York. You see it everywhere.
Yes.
Outside of Philadelphia, outside of Chicago. This is what they do. They vote for the crap policies. And then when they get the crap policies, they move out of the city, but take their crap policies and ideas with them.
Absolutely. And, we're seeing this dynamic in Cape May County a little bit. I mean, Democrats are outnumbered by Republicans in Cape May County, but we're both, if I'm not mistaken, both outnumbered by unaffiliated voters. So, yes. Yeah, but they still very much lean red. Like Jack Ciattarelli, even though he lost the governor's race in Cape May County, he got 58% of the vote in Cape May County. Right. President Trump won by, I believe, plus 10 all 3 times that he ran in Cape May County. So, it's a state problem. It's a numbers issue. And, you have candidates that, listen, it's a tough, almost have to do it perfectly. It's very, very hard to win just because of the numbers dynamic. So in a Trump era, if you will, it is very hard to get the endorsement, right? To get that endorsement, especially in a super red place like Cape May County, for example, and then try to pivot to a statewide race. You have to strike that perfect balance. And listen, I think Jack ran a phenomenal campaign, but the numbers are against us. And, to Mikey Sherrill's credit, she really nationalized her campaign and made it all about Trump instead of about New Jersey. So
yeah, and she's a helicopter pilot, so
Well, yeah, and listen, she was really terrible. Candidates like her is the reason I feared Kamala Harris, because I looked at her and thought, "There's no way nobody could vote for this person." Like, surely, like you're watching her answer questions, like she did a meeting with the county commissioners, like of the state. One of the county commissioner organizations, Jack, and I, sure, bias, right? But was very comfortable. I'm not saying that I wasn't biased. I was clearly supporting Jack, right? But what I'm saying is he was comfortable, answered a lot, told us all what he was going to do for the commissioners. It was very focused on the group that he was talking to. Whereas Mikey Sherrill had this binder and she finished the report short. It reminded me of when I was a teacher. And a student was supposed to give a 5-minute speech and gave a 2-minute speech and it was done. It very much had that vibe. And I thought, oh, there's just no way that this chick is going to win.
Yeah. And this is what they run. And because Yitzhak has another question, but this is what they do. Democrats found this formula with Barack Obama. They found someone who checked some boxes, right? Black, check. Right? Oh, young, good looking, charismatic, check, right? And was willing to play the game. And he was a blank slate. He had missed more votes, just like Mikey Sherrill, than he had actually cast in the Senate, right? So he's a non-entity. They could make him, he's like tofu. Their candidates are tofu, right? They can make them whatever they want to be. Like, oh, you want it to taste like fried chicken? Sure, here we go. You want it to taste like, cannolis? Here you go, right? Like they can make them whatever they want them to be, and they're willing to play along for the power and the notoriety. So they make them whatever they are, and they're very vanilla. They call Mikey Sherrill Vanilla Harris, right?
Yeah.
Because this is what they do. So they find these. She and Spanberger are exactly the same. They're cut from the exact same cloth. Nobody knows who they are. They were nobodies in Congress, right? And they've got no record because they don't do much. And then they elevate them and they put a ton of money behind them and they bank on them just running against Trump.
And lied. Like outright, 100%
outright
lied. Like said that Jack said that he was going to raise taxes by 10%. That was absolutely not true. And also, the part that really, really killed me about the Mikey Sherrill campaign, honestly, is that she basically pretended like Democrats haven't had the majority in the legislature for 20 some odd years. Yeah. Like, you're going to address the cost of living in New Jersey like it has not been your party that has run things for the last 20 years. And get this, not only did she win, but how about they have a supermajority in the legislature now?
It was inevitable in New Jersey. New Jersey's done. New Jersey's gone.
It's done. But this is the same state that Trump only lost by 5 points. That's why I had hope.
Yeah, but you know what? At least all of my friends, everybody's moving out. Everybody's picking where they're going to go. I got 3 who already bought houses in Florida. I have a bunch of friends who bought houses in Delaware. Everybody's beating feet because New Jersey's going to go the way of California. It's going to go the way of New York, and that's it. And they're going to take what was a great state, and they're going to ruin it. They're going to capitalize.
We had a governor that said, like, if you don't like high taxes, then New Jersey's
this is not your state.
And what is more? And they accuse Republicans of being the elitists. Like, that's crazy to me. That's absolutely insane. And then, and listen, my tolerance is like this low for people complaining about the cost of living in the United States, but voted for Mikey Sherrill because she's a woman. What? I don't understand that linear thinking. I don't get it.
It's not thinking, it's feeling, and that's the problem. Yitzhak wants to know why the GOP won't get behind Iran protests. He's very big on Iran protests right now. So you'll hear a lot of questions, I suspect, from Yitzhak about this.
Really?
And protest against care events. All the GOP wants to do is register voters, no engagement on issues. Let me just very quickly, I don't think that it's the GOP that's not engaging. I also don't think it's the DNC that is engaging on the left. It's China, it's Russia, it's 100%. Mexico, who are funneling billions of dollars into this network of dark money that the left has built over the last 40 years.
Yeah.
And that's where the money is. It's not that they're more engaged. It's just that our enemies are, and they found the useful idiots on the left, not the right.
Correct. I was going to say, you notice it's not necessarily the DNC. When you take a good look, first of all, they're broke. Like, it's not even like they're not financing all of these protests. To Mary's point, it is dark money and outsiders that are doing this, and they're being manipulated. Listen, I talk about this all the time, and I know some people don't want to hear it, but it's a spiritual war that's going on. When you are listening to what these people are talking about, and you look at what side they are on, and I'm not talking politically, look at what moral side these people are on, and not just surface morality. Okay? Just take a deeper look, take a step back, and see who all are on the same side.
Yeah.
Okay? The Bible's like real clear about light and darkness being together, and about there really being only 2 choices out here, for real. So ideologically, which side are you on? Are you on the baby murder side? Then you're probably not on the same side. You're probably not on the side of righteousness. You're not on the side of good.
Are you protecting pedophiles?
Well, they're going to say that we're the ones protecting pedophiles, that we don't want the Epstein files out. Like, do you want the victims protected, or don't you? Like, you're going to pick a lane.
Yeah. No, so, I'm with you.
It's highly problematic, but this goes far beyond party. What you see going on in Minnesota, for example, the parties are just like mild players. They're just representatives. I'm not even sure that Tim Walz has any control or insight into what's really going on in his city, besides in his state. besides just fanning the flames because he's benefiting from it.
Right. But Tim Walz is out. He's on his last legs. He knows it. And it's probably why he called Trump, so that he, so I think he knows that he's on his way
and
out.
then, acts like he got on the phone with Trump, like basing on Trump.
Right.
Like, yeah, I told him that he needs to get some of those people out of here. Did you? Is that how it went down? That's how it went down?
The left believes it. The left believes it does. Yitzhak says you're a Cape May diamond.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Tanya says, I love when trolls call in and call David Webb a white supremacist.
It is so funny.
Right.
Like, I don't understand. I'm so, and here's the thing. When you're, on the dais and you're elected, like I can't, I can't do my constituents like I do Grant Stern on Newsmax. Like, I just can't smoke them. You know what I mean? I can't, get on the microphone and say, listen here, listen to me. You don't sound well, or like you need an optometrist if you're saying that the black chick up here is supporting white nationalists. That doesn't make sense. Either that, or you're being very condescending and you think that the chick with the master's degree is dumb. You think that has a national platform doesn't know what she's talking about. Do you think if I was on Newsmax lying and saying dumb stuff every day that I'd still be there? Although CNN still exists, so maybe that's not a good example.
That's true. MS now, yeah.
But seriously, people know, whenever I get comments from the left on my clips, they are generally personal attacks or insults. Rarely does anyone say anything about the veracity of my argument.
Of course, because they can't. They can't.
You know what that tells me? They can't argue the veracity of my argument.
That's right. They cannot. They don't even know what that means. Yitzhak says, or a dark Jew. Everyone gives me glances sometimes. Gerald says, I'm late. Wait, start over. Kate is here from Northern Ireland. Welcome back, Kate.
Hello. I'm 17% Irish.
Look at you. The side that doesn't have the gray hair, Irish.
Yeah.
Except my grandfather had black hair. Let's see. Art says, as a purely superficial man, you both look fantastic tonight. Smart and conservative and easy on the eyes. Let's have a 3-hour show tonight. I can't. I have to get ready for Brian Kilmeade's radio show in the morning. But thanks anyway. But thank you.
I'm so jelly. We love Brian Kilmeade.
Yeah, he's great. Kevin says, I hate gray hair. Good to hear the red wins in Cape May County. It gives us hope.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Okay, so Yitzhak says, what would outreach be for the blue areas in New Jersey? What issues?
What issues with the out? I will say that from a statewide perspective, like, we just got a new chairperson, Chris Hanlon, and she's wonderful. I think she's going to do great. We do have like a coalition building issue, I think. And we have this north-south thing in New Jersey too.
And central.
There's no such thing as Central Jersey, Mary. Yeah. And this is another fight and battle that we have, right? In the state of New Jersey. Like, my part of New Jersey is basically why they call New Jersey the Garden State. But when a lot of people think of New Jersey, they think of like the Sopranos, which is North Jersey. Even Trenton, New Jersey, which is the capital, is considered South Jersey. But do you know that's a good 2 hours from me? It's closer to New York. So, we do have all these issues, and we have these counties that are very unique. You have the coastline that have beaches. Cape May County is surrounded by 3 bodies of water, believe it or not, right? We're right across the Delaware Bay.
Right.
We're actually below the Mason-Dixon line. Like, we are a very different county. And so you have Trenton trying to legislate for a place like Cape May County, or even Salem County and Cumberland County. That's all in Legislative District 1. Congressman Van Drew's district, Congressional District 2 has 6 counties in it, and it's very diverse. So part of New Jersey's problem is you really have to try to address, all of this very diverse area. We are not monolithic by any stretch as a state. And I think I did some research, and I think back in the 80s, early 90s, South Jersey actually tried to secede from North Jersey. And if and if you ever drove like the state from end to end, you would absolutely understand how that could possibly, how people could get the idea that that would be a thing.
But wait a minute, just a second. Northwest New Jersey is also farmland. I grew up in Somerset County when Somerset County was all farmland. So, but Northwest Jersey is also very red and also very farm and very remote and much more rural. So
mountains right outside the Poconos in Pennsylvania, in Somerset County, right? Yeah. I had a speaking engagement at a resort in the Poconos for CFACT. We had a retreat up there, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea that we were this."
That's Sussex County. That's Sussex County.
Sussex. Thank you, thank you, Sussex. You're correct. That's right.
We used to have to do that. My dad would make us name all the 21 counties of New Jersey in alphabetical order at dinner every now and then.
So part of the problem, or I should say challenge, that statewide organizations have is we're a very wide state. It's hard to come together. People complain when they have to come to Cape May County, even though if you live in Cape May County and you're involved in any kind of statewide activities, you're gonna drive. You're like, how do you do the drive? And it's like, well, we live in Cape May County, so we know we have to do the drive. Right. But also, we live in beautiful red run Cape May County, and it's worth the sacrifice.
Yeah. Now Tax USA makes a great point. He says Republicans never control the narrative. Low gas prices, closed borders, world peace, and we still look like the bad guys. He's very right. Right?
You are not wrong about that. But see, so I think the challenge, to your point, that we have, what I was saying before about it being red here, and then up north it's much more blue. It's hard to sell those things to the blue areas because they have different concerns. For example, crime is a much bigger thing in the blue areas up north.
That's true.
Than it is down here. You can't, people around here probably, I'll speak for myself personally. I didn't know the car that I have now, doesn't lock automatically for easily the first 6 months I had it, because the car that I had before that did do that. I've left my computer in the car. I've left all kinds of things. My car has never been broken into. I parked one night in North Jersey and left like a beach bag, and it was wintertime in my car, and somebody broke in my car and took it. So this is, it's a completely different, they have different concerns, different. I'm not saying we have no crime, but it's just not the kind of, it's not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't worry about getting my purse snatched if I walk down the street. I'm not concerned. And I'll give you another example. One time there was a homeless woman, like in the center of town where I live. You should have seen the posts on the local social media, the local pages of concern, and somebody go help her. Because it's just not something that's common that you see.
Sure.
Here.
Sure. Yeah.
So they have different concerns. So even when you say world peace to somebody who's concerned about whether or not their house is going to get broken into, I think they're more concerned about their world.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's, I think that's the challenge that we have. Right. We have such a diverse state with diverse challenges. And so you have to you really have to kind of change the message depending on what county you're in. If you're in a beach county, you have to be really concerned about all the things that a rural area that the DEP does. If you live near beaches, that the department, because they have this, the leftists don't want people living at the beaches. Like, it literally says that on their website, that they don't say it as blatantly, but they say something like they encourage inward migration or something like that.
But they live on Love Ladies and Harvey Cedars and all the very ritzy places.
Right. But
I just want to get to some more here. We have both Now Tax USA and Yitzhak saying, Yitzhak's a former Ready, he's a former Lib, but they're all saying we need to take to the streets. We need to put together a protest, and they're saying all no money spent, all volunteer. You are in, and he said, they're both saying, why don't we take to the streets
now, I will
the
say
way
this.
they do?
This is the other problem that we have. Challenge, I'm going to stop calling them problems, challenge. So Cape May County has been mostly red for quite some time now. I would say I think we flipped the first legislative district, the state district in 19. That's been red ever since. Then we got Jeff Van Drew. So now we have that congressional seat. Going to be very difficult to beat him. He's up for re-election. The countywide, it's been completely red. And I'm saying all that to say, I'm repeating that because what incentive do red voters have, especially in a little enclave? The red areas tend to be rural and have less people. Like my county, I believe, has 92,000 people in it, right? It goes up to, during tourism season, about 500,000. But there aren't a lot of us in these red areas, and there's many more of them. So right. To put together a protest would really take a statewide effort, and maybe that's the answer, because they definitely import people from 100%. Other areas to join 100%. Their protests. So maybe that's the answer. Like you might be on to something.
We saw it in New Jersey before the 2020 election when they did all the car trains for Trump. We were in the one on the Parkway, right? And it started in South Jersey. They went to 3 different locations. And so you went, and every rest stop that you met at, Clara Barton or Bon Jovi or whatever the rest stop was that you met at, they would have a group from that area of the state that met, and they would get into they would merge in, and they kept us all in the express lanes. So it didn't bother, everybody was on and then everybody else was in the locals. And you saw that. And I mean, there were people from all over the state there, and it was great. It was, but I also think we work and don't have that kind of time, and really can't afford to get arrested because we have to be to work the next day. So, so that's part of it as well. Star Driver says Tim Walz was bearing the fraud. I think Walz called Trump, and Trump told him either work with the feds or I'll put the Insurrection Act in place, taking all of Walz and Soy Boy's power.
100%. There is absolutely no way that Tim Walz called President Trump and Trump was all like, "Oh, can you please stop being mean to my ICE agents?" I do not think that's how that conversation went down at all. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. He knows he's in trouble, and he knows he's on his way out. Art says, if I'm ever in a GOP foxhole, I want Melanie as my 6. She's stronger than a horseradish and wasabi sandwich.
Oh, baby, I'm using that. Stronger than a horseradish and wasabi sandwich?
Yeah.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate you.
Art's the best. Well, there's a lot. I say it a lot. That doesn't mean anybody else is not great too. Linnea is here. Oh my gosh, Linnea is all the way in Washington State. She never makes it. I'm actually here multitasking with you in the kitchen. We're 3 hours behind you out here in Nutness, Washington. Which is worse, Washington or New Jersey? Thank God PT and I are hunkered down in the woods.
Washington.
Is Washington worse than New Jersey, Washington State?
I don't know. Doesn't Washington State have like the like super woke zones and stuff? I don't think we have that. We don't have any.
True.
Yeah,
because nobody wants to go to Newark.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, I have friends in Newark. I hate to diss Newark. Newark has a Freedom Caucus. Like they have like a conservative, a couple of vocal conservative groups in Newark.
Patterson, Camden.
Patterson, yes, we got close a couple times with Billy Premph, in Patterson.
Yeah, but he's not Muslim, so it wasn't happening.
Well, and that's what I meant about the coalitions.
Mm-hmm.
But Jack had all of those coalitions. He had all the coalitions.
Yeah. Yitzhak has an idea. He said, we need a universal single issue where voters will say, this is correct. And that's what the GOP has to come up with, because you very, very astutely laid out all the different problems, because these people are more urban and these people are more rural, but there's got to be one universal. And honestly, it's immigration. I think it's an 80-20 issue, but the Democrats have very wisely, they will literally sacrifice lives and people in order to turn it around and make it look like Trump is bad. Even though he's winning on immigration, he's giving the people what they want. Scott, if this is still you, I swear to God, he's giving the people what they want. He closed the borders, no more people coming across, right? And they turn it around.
The thing that really kills me, and how President Trump got a lot more to black vote, was on the immigration issue. I said for years about the illegal immigration issue that this is going to predominantly affect urban areas. That it's going to be predominantly in the schools, and not even on a race situation. Where are you going to go? You're going to go where most of the housing is, right? That's urban areas, right? There's hardly any housing in rural areas, right? So where are the people who are there illegally going to migrate? Sanctuary cities, right? That's going to be an urban area, right? That's where they're going to migrate to. Which schools are they going to be in? Predominantly black schools, probably. So while your kid is supposed to be learning, you have the bilingual kids. You need more ESL teachers. You just need much more support. It's a lot going on. So you would think that black folks will be more on top of this than anybody. But to the point I just made, look at the protesters in Minnesota. Are black folks out there protesting?
Nope. They're all paid leftists. They're all paid soy boys, and they're just a group of people where the women are more manly than the men.
And white folks that think they know better than they do, that think they know better than black people what's good for black people.
I do think that black people are waking up to that, though.
It is so offensive, and they don't even realize how absolutely condescending they are, and how they infantilize black people. Like I'm always stunned at just like how they say these things with their whole chest. Like there was this woman who was talking to a black ICE agent and called him a race traitor to his face. Said he's a race traitor. How's it feel to betray your race? Like, how dare she?
They don't care. I thought this was funny. And by the way, Scott, I apologize for thinking you were the one texting me the whole time. I apologize. I've got like 4 texts from 4 different people. It wasn't all Scott. Scott did say that haircut makes you look 10 to 15 years younger. No BS. I'm like, it's literally held up on the side by clips.
We like Scott.
Pieces out of my face, but thank you. It's really kind of right now. It'll look better after a couple more washings, I promise. But thank you. I really do appreciate that.
It looks cute. It looks cute.
Scott says, I've heard of New Jersey all my life, but I never really considered it having beaches. We have 128 miles of beaches.
See what I mean? See what I'm talking about? You know how I started working for CFACT? Because they tried to bring offshore wind to Cape May County. That's what happened. And they helped us. They assisted us in fighting off the offshore wind to get these behemoth. They were trying to put these behemoth wind turbines, not windmills, not like Don Quixote style, turbines.
Oh,
Two
yeah.
completely different things off the coast of Cape May County. And that's how I met its founder, Craig Rucker. I was speaking at an event here in Cape May County against offshore wind. But yes, we're a lot of beaches, a ton of beaches.
Yeah. Well, luckily, we have President Trump stopping that for now. So this is interesting. Sal says Republicans have trouble getting the message out because they fear criticism. So they don't go full court press and drive-by media and their gangster rappers twist whatever they say.
I agree with that 100%. I have definitely had legitimate beefs, if you will, with fellow Republicans. And then I have to remember that I'm a conservative and that I'm a Republican because I'm conservative, not the other way around. I think that's absolutely true. And, you can't, as I said earlier, at this point, it's a fight between good versus evil. And I'm not suggesting that the Republican Party is inherently good. Not suggesting that. Love my party. But what I'm suggesting is that the principles that we're fighting for, particularly as conservatives, those principles are founded in good, no matter how the left tries to twist that up. And so I do think that you have, when you're not operating from that foundation, when you're not understanding the damage, when you are lukewarm about how leftist policies are absolutely damaging, not just the economy, but like literally to mankind, when you're lukewarm about that fact, then you're not going to be vocal. I've had so many people tell me that I was brave, and I'm like, I'm not. I just don't know how to do it any other way. I wish I did. I'd probably be, a wealthy Democrat grifting off of, my fine public speaking. Somebody actually suggested that early on in my political career. Said, if you just switch parties, you could write your own ticket. And I was like, well, that's phenomenal, but what would I do with the mirrors in my house? Like, what?
Well, it just goes to show you how mutable their values are.
Right. And more than once throughout my political career, I've had that offer. Like, why don't you just switch parties? Your life would be so much easier if you switch parties.
Yeah. Now Tech says Republicans should have a strategy to convert the old blue dog Democrats to conservative voting.
I think we do. That's what Jeff Van Drew is.
Yes.
I tell people this story all the time. I've known Jeff for years. And, every time he would come up for election for whatever office he was running for, the whole goal of Cape GOP was, okay, how do we take Jeff out? And it was nearly impossible. You know why? Because Republicans have voted for him for a long time. He's been a blue dog for a long time. And he'll tell you that the Democrat Party left him.
Yeah. Star Driver says you have to get the dead in New Jersey to vote red instead of blue. Gregory wants to know, are there events that CFACT sponsors?
Like political events?
I would assume.
They are technically, I shouldn't say technically, they are nonpartisan. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. They are nonpartisan, but we do go to conservative events like CPAC. We go there. We were at the Erica Kirk, the Turning Point USA event. I'm sure there are events that they sponsor at some point. I have not been to any events that they've sponsored, but that doesn't mean they don't do it. It's a nationwide organization.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yes. And actually worldwide. Like, we do stuff all over the world. We go to the UN conventions because those globalists are absolutely out of their mind. The UN conferences, the climate conferences, you have to jump on the cfact.org's page if you want to know what the globalists are doing and how they're trying to control every aspect of your life. If you want to know, the UN is supposed to be solving wars. I've been calling President Trump like a one-man UN for like all of the second iteration of his presidency. He's doing what the UN is supposed to be doing. One of the things that CFAC does is keep track of the extremists in the climate agenda. And there is not much more activity happening in that realm than at the UN and at their COP events, in Switzerland and in in Brazil and all these exotic places. And they are really trying to do some damage. One of the things that they're trying to do is a global plastics treaty, which is one of the policy issues that have been assigned to me at CFAC. I don't know when my latest white paper is coming out on the latest iteration of and I'm not just saying, oh, they want you to recycle plastic. No, these crazies actually want to do away with every element of plastic, every element, and make it a worldwide legal policy. And now the latest thing that they're doing, and this white paper should be coming out soon, is a business agenda, which basically get businesses to buy in globally. And then, of course, everybody else will follow because they want to be good stewards. And then that, boys and girls, is how these leftist policies end up becoming laws. So you have to really watch. I would encourage anybody, if you don't subscribe to cfac.org's page, you really want to know what these globalists are doing. And they're involved in everything. Listen, they have these conferences that are supposed to be about anti-war and sometimes about anti-climate. And then they're talking about gender language and they're soup to nuts. They are trying to rule the world.
Yeah. So, well, I don't give them short shrift on that. Hermit Sal says, if Walsh called Trump, it was probably a collect call. Probably. Star Driver says, I want to be a fly on the wall when Homan meets with Timmy and Trudeau Jr., aka Mayor Fry. Wouldn't we all love to?
Yeah, because I don't think Mayor Fry is coming with that same energy that he talks, when he's talking stuff to the press. I don't think Tom Homan's having any of that.
Yeah, he's such a beta. Linnea, Seattle is the tail that wags the dog in Washington. Most of us elsewhere are red. You're in North Jersey. Well, we got that corridor now that goes from New York to Philadelphia. That corridor is deep blue. And now they're branching out of that corridor and going to other parts of the state and taking their policies with them.
People are coming here. I actually got in an argument in my local watering hole. I'll be headed there when I'm done here to have dinner and a glass of wine probably. But in about 5 minutes sitting at the bar, the bartender was like kind of messing with me and said, oh, hey, she's an elected official, because he's always like teasing me about that.
Right.
And of course they did what they do and assumed I was a Republican. And about 3 minutes in, they realized that wasn't the case. And then
but they assumed you were a Democrat, you mean?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Assumed I was a Democrat. Correct. And I'm not. And they it ended up being an unpleasant conversation. Not for me, but for them. And they just moved here, to your point. That's why I brought it up. They just moved here. And many of the people, like, we have these little pockets of protesters that have been like out on the corner, and you find out, well, how long have you been here? They've been here 3 years, 2 years. And I pointed out that, in retrospect, maybe I started to fight. I'm like, because the reason why you like it so much here is because, I said not to tune our own horns, but the reason why you like it so much here is because it's very well run. I said, you like all the red policies. That's why you're here. That's why you moved here. Otherwise, you would have stayed in your nice blue area. But you like the low crime, I would imagine. You like the fact that, for example, the county commissioner board has cut taxes twice. We're not in any debt. So, when we were having a problem with the SNAP benefits being paused, we took out of our surplus and gave money to our local food banks. And other counties were like, wow, how did you do that? Oh, because we don't spend like drunken leftists. That's why. That's how we were able to do that.
Good for you. Good.
But they do. They come down here and then complain. And this is the part I don't get. Like, you came here and now you're complaining about moving here. You moved here. We were doing okay without you. You moved here. So either get with the program. There's plenty of nice leftist places to live where you can keep your door locked and not have noise ordinances, where you can have all the noise you want and all the illegal immigrants you want. You can have all of that. Don't come here with that foolishness.
Yeah. I just want to quickly get to some of these comments because we're running out of time. Yitzhak says urban farming for inner cities, opportunity zones. The GOP seizes the issue and provides food, education for the kids. And the local GOP here is only concerned with money. Money does not do the work, the muscle work. Star Driver says protesters were flying into Minnesota last Friday to protest. Yes. These white women are awful. Angry white female uneducated liberals. And I want to say Gutfeld,
yes,
coined that term. Greg Gutfeld, yeah.
I actually posted about that unpleasant conversation I had with that woman, and I said I had a conversation with an awful. And that's exactly what I meant.
Exactly. Star Driver says, so Mary, what you're saying is next week you'll look fabulous. Hopefully I'll get all this mess taken care of. Let's see. Linnea, fight those wind turbines. They are awful. Well, we got rid of them. They got rid of them off the Jersey coast. Trump stopped it. Thank God. Not before we had dead, countless dead whales and dolphins and everything up washing on the beach because of the drilling and everything that they do down there and the sonar and all that radar and everything.
It's very, very bad. Very bad.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Lots of bad things there.
Okay. The GOP has too many go along to get along people who don't know how to fight dirty. And Yitzhak said the GOP is milquetoast. It's so true. My husband said for a long time, the IT department here says that the GOP needs more women because they fight. And then when they realize they can't get anything done because of the environment in Washington, D.C., they're like, I'm out. I'm going to go back home. I'm going to do something there. Have at it. The men are in it as a career. They're in it for the prestige. They're in it for the power. They're not in it for which is why they're so afraid to do anything.
And I'll tell you, being in the area that I'm in, where it's not just red, but conservative philosophically, as far as being a Republican is concerned, it can be challenging to go to other places throughout the state and talk to other Republicans who do not come with the same energy at all, are not quite as passionate about the same things. And I have to remind myself, oh, wait, I'm with Republicans. I am not with conservatives. I'm with Republicans.
Art says Melanie is now invited to the barbecue with you, the IT guy, and Alan West. He's in Texas.
I appreciate that.
And I have to, hold on. He's calling for Art's in Texas. IT guy, if the IT guy's listening, Art would like an appearance by the IT guy because he hasn't been here for 2 weeks. Squeaky says, is Spadia the spoiler? Big voice, but never a unifying force. I agree. I think Spadia was a spoiler.
Yeah, that was a bad situation. I still don't really understand what happened there. Like the fact that he didn't support Jack was no bueno. I have a big problem with that because I feel like this. If you are going to be part of a party, then be a part of a party. At the very least, if you don't like the candidate, do no harm. Because you're part of a party. Otherwise,
inside the house.
Facts.
Right?
You don't.
I love this picture.
So, that was a problem. You mean to tell me that Mikey Sherrill is better than Jack Ciattarelli? That's where you landed, Bill Spadia? And he didn't think that he needed the support of, for example, Cape GOP, in order to get the endorsement. He ended up, as far as the endorsement is concerned in the primary, losing every single county. You can't do that. Like, it doesn't work that way. And I would submit that if that's what you're going to do, then you're in it for yourself. You're not in it for the overall good.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
I frankly don't want anyone elected that's in it for themselves. It's supposed to be a public service.
I agree. Come here. Say hello to your boyfriend. Say hello to the IT guy. Say hello to Art. Hey, Art. I'm here. Melanie.
Hello there.
Okay, the IT guy's made an appearance. He's out. Goodbye.
It's always better when I'm not around. That means everything's working. I'm not getting yelled at.
You're not getting yelled at. No, nobody's yelling at you. The UN is unnecessary. Art wants to know, do either of you know how Candace Owens went back crap crazy from being a conservative star to an embarrassment? I have not followed the whole Candace Owens thing, so I don't know. I'm not really up.
I got something for that.
Okay, go. Go.
I'm gonna tell you right now. That's always who she was. Now I know folks are not going to want to hear that. Because there's still some big Candace Owens fans out there, and that's fine. I don't usually talk publicly about like other people generally, especially if they're like an influencer and not like an actual political person. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're like in politics and running and you're on a ballot, that's a whole different energy than being an influencer to me. But I was never a fan. I have had behind the scenes arguments about this for years, since the beginning. And I have said to people recently, I guess I called that one, didn't I? Like one time she was brought up on my page and somebody made a comment about her, like some connection with me. And I was like, actually not really a big fan. I didn't go in and say all the things I didn't like.
Right.
You
didn't say why. Yeah.
People blocked me, said I was jealous, said I was trying to be like her, and thought I was, and all I said was, have you noticed I never share any of her content? That was literally all I said. I didn't bash her or anything. And people got really mad. This was a few years ago. I feel vindicated.
Ridiculous. All right. Let's get through some of this. Yitzhak asked the Blue Meanies if they lock their doors at night. The people who move down there, do they lock their doors at night? And why? Why do you lock your doors?
Right.
Let's see. Started, yes. Got it from Gutfeld, but he used lesbians instead of liberal in awful.
I think he changes them.
He said, both of you ladies need to be on Gutfeld. I used to be on Red Eye back in the day all the time. I was on every other week with Greg. He's a great guy. And he's
I used to love Red Eye. I would love to do Gutfeld. That would be so fun.
Oh, it would. Yeah. Yeah, this is why they stopped them. An Air Force buddy of mine, Sal says, an Air Force buddy of mine says those windmills can cause radar disruption, which is a national security problem, which is what Trump used as the predicate for stopping them.
CFAC just released a press release about that entire thing. And by the way, that's what we have been saying since the beginning. And those reports have been around for you. Those reports about them interrupting radar are like 10 years old.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, it's not
quickly, let's go here. Art says that the IT department is an Adonis. Did you hear that? His key's a little delayed. And then right after that, Yitzhak wrote syphilis. So I'm not quite sure what that's about. Rebecca's out. Thank you so much. I haven't slept much in 2 days. It was fun. Yeah. Oh, get some sleep. Herman Salsmania can still kiss a certain part of my anatomy for being rude to Mary, and also if he was rude to Melanie. Oh, you didn't know that?
He was rude. He was rude to my chairman, so that counts. We're a family.
Okay, there you go.
He was rude to my organization. He said he didn't need us.
Yeah.
Turns out you did.
I love Red Eye. Oh no, Yitzhak, Red Eye. That's Red Eye Radio. Greg Gutfeld's first TV show on Fox was called Red Eye, and it aired like 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
Yeah, it was very.
We recorded it at 8 o'clock at night. And then it aired much later because we would all go out afterwards for drinks.
That was a good show.
Those guys was so much with Bill Schultz, and Andy Levy, and Greg, and one of the bookers. We would all go out afterwards to drink.
I forgot about Andy Levy.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Really bad habit, but they were just so much fun. You haven't lived until you've had Greg Gutfeld come flying out of an Irish bar screaming at you down the street and then pulling you back into the bar. It was many years ago that this happened. I was like, I'm trying to catch the train. Gutfeld also said MS Now stands for no more shit no one watches.
How do they stay on the air? How?
You know what? Yeah, they're worse than CNN. CNN actually stumbles into journalism every now and then with Scott Jennings and I
have friends who do CNN. Malik Abdul does CNN. My friend Tim Parrish does CNN. I have friends, and they go on there and they represent. They do a good job.
Yeah. So they're a little bit better. And they let people talk, which is nice. Whereas MS Now is just it's just a dumpster fire of dysfunction. So yeah, no way there. All right. Scott says enjoyed listening. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thanks everybody. Thank you so much. Next week, I can tell you who's on next. And don't forget to please hit the like button. It really would it kill you, as I keep saying, it would not kill you. I think next week is, hold on, I'll tell you in a second here. Hold on. I know it's the anticipation is just too much. I think. Hold on. No. Okay, no, that's later in the month. I think it's Chris Tremoli from the Washington Times is on with us next week.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Nice.
thank you again so much. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you, coming on and saying, yeah, definitely I can do this, because I love having you on and you are a fan favorite. So thank you for
It's
doing
Mary
that.
Walter. I'm always going to do the Mary Walter show.
Well, thank
If it's
you. We
on my
appreciate
schedule,
that.
I'm going to do it.
Oh, thank you. And go enjoy your dinner. Enjoy your drink. Keep fighting the good fight. You keep putting those blue meanies in their place. And yeah, ask them if they lock their doors. Listen, we love going somewhere in our cars, because all of our cars are manual transmission, and we know nobody's going to steal them. You can leave the doors wide open with the keys in the ignition. Ain't nobody stealing that car.
Right. And,
So.
I think, the other problem that we have is that there are people who've lived in the other situation their whole lives, and they don't even realize that there's another way.
Right. Exactly.
That there's another way to live.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, my friend. Everybody can see you on Newsmax. What time are you on tomorrow?
I'm on tomorrow at 3, I believe. And if you follow me, I post as many clips as possible. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, I do, at X, at NJGOP Diva, or Melanie TV on YouTube or TikTok.
There you go. Girl is everywhere. And it's NJGOP Diva on X as well. So thank you so much. Yes, indeed. All right, take care, my friend. Have fun. Have a good night. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Again, tomorrow I'll be in for Brian Kilmeade, 9 a.m. to noon on Fox News Radio. And then I'm on N2, Newsmax 2. Go to YouTube and just type in Newsmax, the number 2 live. It'll come up. You can watch tomorrow, 5:15. I'll be in with Todd Starnes. Thursday, I'm in for Brian Kilmeade on Newsmax Radio. Again, if you're in the New York City area, that's carried on WABC. So you can hear it locally there. It's carried locally all over the country. And then on Thursday night from 9 p.m. to midnight, I'm in for Stacey Washington. That's Eastern time. Stacey Washington on SiriusXM Patriot Channel. So thank you so much. I do appreciate you joining me. Have a great week. Stay out of trouble. We'll see you again here Tuesday with Chris Tremoli on Mary Walter Radio. Bye.